What if you could write code like this and get this? Python programmer here and welcome to LinguaCode, where structured English becomes Python. Back in November 2023, I started building LinguaCode with one main goal: to make programming easier for beginners. Instead of memorizing syntax, they could just write what they mean and let AI do the rest. The idea for this project originally came from my uni friends who encouraged me to make my own programming language. Since most general purpose languages had already been done brilliantly, I wanted to try something different, something more similar to normal English. LinguaCode is currently still in development, but the translator is nearly finished. The plan is to release the full suite, including the language IDE, a possible AI assistant, and documentation, sometime in 2026 or 2027, depending on how progress goes. Let's dive into the translator. The main module gives you four options. Option 1, importing structured English code, multi-line. Option 2, import a single command, uses a trained machine learning model. Option 3, translate from a file. Then option 4, exit, which exits obviously. Option 1 then uses a translation matrix, basically a big dictionary of common phrases. First, it tries to translate full sentences that the user entered. If it doesn't find a match for the full sentence, then it tries to go word by word. After that, if there's still no match, it'll default to keeping the same word like in the original code, usually because it's a variable name or something else that shouldn't be translated. It also uses machine learning models like word lematizer to try and predict variance within the phrases. It's still a work in progress, so sometimes you get gems like number less than while instead of while number less than 5. However, I'm almost there with having this part production ready. If you have any feedback for this, do please let me know in the comments. Next up is the single command translation. Option 2 in the main menu uses a saved machine learning model trained on a CSV of phrases that could be used to request a small method for a task. It's great for exact matches, but throwing a curveball and not so great. However, the main part of coding it was the integration into a normal Python file that can run, and so I managed to create a default structure to the translated file. At the top are the methods in the order that they were translated in. If you choose to append to the same file when translating the next time, the new methods appear directly underneath those previous ones. I'll show a proper example a bit later on. Then there's the if name is equal to main statement here. This provides the entry point to the program and includes two sections separated by comments. One for variables storing user inputs and one calling the methods that are present at the top with the user input variables as the inputs for the methods. I worked quite hard to get this structure exact using the line number markers in the code to separate sections and to make it so that you can append to the structure as well as creating it initially in a new file. The translation context submodule is also created for the purpose of formatting this translated code to be able to intelligently match the structure and somewhat hybridize. Then option 3 is translating from a text file. But this option also offers saving to a Python file, although the structure for this file is different since it most likely has to match the structure of the text file that is being translated. I originally started with this text file for translating and haven't really tried anything else like this, but this part of the program works perfectly for this exact text file now. There's also the error checker, which checks for common errors in the translated code file and fixes them, such as missing variable definitions, missing imports, extra indents, etc. It rewrites the translate code file then with the errors removed so that it can run smoothly. Okay, so now it's the demo where entering in structured English code. If the number is less than 6, 5, add the return number, otherwise subtract 2 and output the number. So number less than if. The rest of that we messed up with the otherwise we spelled it wrong. If we saved up to test 1, then we need to write that file because that's a demo 1 even. Then number 2 we're gonna reverse the string, and that was not what I wrote. And let's write that to demo with the exact matches. So this is a current demo 1 file. We fixed that up a bit. And so now that'll run like a normal Python file if we enter 6 or 5. And so this is the other one, demo 2 then. We just need to make sure that's a list. We could just enter like a big number and split it into a list and remove the duplicates. So let's try this one, and that does return the exact method because we took that directly from the thingy. With demo 2 and we appended that. And if we do the error checker, we see the errors come up there. I'm currently printing more than needs to be shown at the moment. But there we got a fully functioning file. The method just got added to it and the other stuff then underneath in the relevant sections, and that fully works. If we did the list with commas, you see that the comma gets placed there and all the numbers then. Those are the methods we added. Now back to main. This time we do the translate from file. We got code.txt. We put that in demo 3. We run the error checker, and it runs quite a few times. We see the code is exactly fine, no errors. So we have duplicate code in there. We can run it. It's mostly for pay and hours and stuff like that. So yeah, that's the structured English language translator so far, almost finished as I said. As with any project this size, there's been quite a few challenges so far, and I anticipate there will be more in the future. Development started almost 2 years ago, but it's been quite slow, mostly due to university, the AI Apps Challenge this year, and other projects last year, as well as countless other commitments in my personal and professional life. I made a video on the translator last year. However, I got feedback that it was too fast-paced and confusing. It was quite hard to tell what was going on. This time I've made much more progress, and therefore I'm keeping it clear and focused. Hopefully the video has been so far. Do let me know in the comments how you found the pace and tone of the video so far, as well as any improvements I could make. The scope of the program has expanded massively over the past year, from a few saved snippets to a full translation engine with machine learning support, and hopefully soon it'll be part of a complete programming language package. The other main challenge is that simplistic coding languages like this that are more similar to English generally don't fare well in the market. In the past there's been many attempts. However, I hope to change that with LinguaCode. It's a very ambitious plan, but hopefully I can succeed. Next up, we're going to be ironing out the kinks with this translator, building the IDE in C#, implementing even smarter phrase translation, and maybe even voice input, as well as an AI assistant present in the IDE. Also, I'll most likely be doing another video sometime next year, updating everyone on my progress. So stay tuned for that. Also, if you've got structured English phrases you want to see translated in that video, make sure to drop them in the comments and I'll use them then. Thanks for watching. If you want to see code written like plain English and actually work, subscribe and stay tuned. This is LinguaCode. Let's make programming more simple again.